Hi, welcome back. So in the previous video, we started looking at what type of fonts we can use in our website. Now we're going to go through and actually include them. So first of all, let's just look at our website for now. We have all of our fonts set up, and we have a bunch of text manipulation ready to go and working on the website. But now what I'm going to do is actually go through and start using these external fonts. So we're not going to use this Arial font anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and erase that. And also for the font weight, I'm also going to go ahead and erase that because there's some issues with it that I'll talk about in just a second. So there we go. Now that we've removed all of the properties that will be directly affected by the font, let's go ahead and work on setting up our website with these external fonts. So the first thing you'll notice here is that when you go over to your Google Fonts, it gives you this link tag to include. So this link tag is pretty much going to link to Google Fonts and pull them from their servers. So this is what you're going to need to copy right here. So you're just going to copy this, and up in your HTML document, you're going to paste your link tag above your style sheet. Now make sure you post it above your style sheet, because you want to have the fonts ready so that when your style sheet comes along and the compiler is reading it, all of the fonts are already there and ready to go. So there we go. Now that everything's linked and set up, why don't we go ahead and see what happened on our website. Well, obviously we remove the font, but you can see that nothing actually happens. So by doing this, we don't actually set up our website to use our fonts. We're just bringing them into our website. Now what we need to do is go through in CSS and start utilizing these fonts so that we can see the changes on the website. So on top of that, there's this little text here that allows you to, you can just copy the style straight, but I'm going to go ahead and do it manually. So first of all, let's go ahead and add our body font. So I'm going to go ahead and say font family. And now we're going to go through and select our font. So we included two fonts, Leto and Sarabun. What we're going to go through is go ahead and see which one we want to use. So I'm going to use Leto for the body text. So right here in quotes, I'm going to go ahead and say Leto, just like that. And now let's go ahead and refresh the page. And you can see how much of a difference that makes. Now using this new font, everything has changed. It makes the website look completely different from what it used to be. So there we go. We've included that. But let's go ahead and include our second font here. So I'm going to go through and actually add it on the title and the subtitle. And remember, going back to specificity, the class and ID selectors are going to be more specific than the body selectors. So our font family is going to override the body font family. So let's go ahead and add that right there, just like that. And let's go ahead and add it to our subtitle as well. All right, now let's go ahead and see what happens. So you can see that although the difference is quite subtle, it still changed the font of the titles and subtitles. And you can see why using two fonts on your website makes it look a whole lot better. So there we go. We've added all of our fonts. But the only problem is we know that what's happening behind the scenes is that this link tag is going to Google servers, pulling these fonts, and then including them in our website. But what if it fails? What if there's no internet connection? Or what if it's down? Maybe the Google font servers themselves are down. This is where we need to use the trick we learned in the font families video, in which we can actually add a backup font to this. And if we actually go on Google Fonts right here, you can see they already do this. Now, because the sans serif family is included by default, what's going to happen is normally it's going to use the font specified. But if there's some problem and we can't get these fonts, maybe Google servers are down, it's going to go over to the next font. And we know that sans serif is included on every single machine, which means that it's going to work fine. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, if you remember, all we have to do is go ahead and add a comma and then put the name of the family, which in this case is sans serif. We're going to do this for the other two as well, and this one as well. Now, of course, this is going to change based on the font that you use, and I'm actually going to show you this right here. Let's remove both of these and add a serif font. So this would be considered a serif font. Let's go ahead and add that. Now, if we go ahead and look at the family, well, it's actually not serif, it's a different family called cursive. But you can see, just to prove that point, that the family is going to depend on the font itself. So we explained a little bit about font families in that video, and obviously all of them have different characteristics. So of course, like I said, it depends completely on the type of font. So if I go ahead and see the family there, you can see that that's sans serif. But if we use something like this font, it's going to be a different font family. So that's just one thing you need to keep in mind, is that you want to make sure your fallback font is both included on every machine and it's kind of similar to our font here. Now if I actually go ahead and erase this, now let's go ahead and see, obviously there is a visual difference, but it still has that same style. There's no lines, it's clean to read, it's just straightforward. So that's one thing you want to make sure of. Alright, so that's pretty much it for fonts. Next, we're going to move on to layout, which is really going to change the way that this website looks. Alright, let's move on.